Hi folks, we are doing an equipment review today, and what we're not trying to do is recreate Rick Shields at Flackwell Heath Golf Club.
No, we're not. We're just...
So we are going to take this from the point of view of your average golfer with a golf pro, just going through it, the things we look for, 19 handicapper, scratch golfer.
Plus two.
Plus two?
No.
What do you reckon your handicap is?
Realistic, I think 2 or 3, I think.
Fair play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So what we're talking about this time in our equipment review, which is a bit different, is the brand new Titleist ProV1 and 1X. As obvious, one is gold and one's silver. They are got new technology. Simon, I'll put those down there so I don't drop them. But they have little new stripies, which
I mean, this is cool. I like this bit.
Yeah, but that's, let's be honest, Callaway.
Yeah, so it's
first.
Yeah, they did the triple track.
Yep. I don't know. Let's see if that comes out. Hopefully that comes out.
Yeah.
So they did the
nice
triple
idea,
track,
but
it's
triple track. So Titleists have used a similar, let's say, they've used a similar design, useful for lining up your putts, your tee shots. It's good.
So Pro V1s, Premier Bowl, 70%, 74% of the tour use them. I'm not so sure these days whether 74% of the tour use them because they get paid to use them.
I think there's obviously a percentage that do get paid, but I think a lot of the pros use them out of choice. They use them growing up. Titleist is the ball that they stick to, they trust. It's very important to have a ball that you can trust.
But the key was around 2000 when we went from the wound ball.
Yes, right.
They suddenly discovered they could do the polymer inside, cast polymer, and they had a massive change. So the first pros that actually used this, it was a game changer because now suddenly you had distance and you had the stopping power.
And I can remember it being a big change at the time, you know, because it did go, there was a big buzz, it went further, it lasted longer as well.
2004, before we were allowed to play with it. Yeah. And just to be clear, the pros that play it at the moment, and this is an interesting fact that I found out in doing research for this review, is that they play what they call a CFT, which is custom fit tour ball. So it's a bit like Formula One, where aspects of that will end up in your performance cars, but they don't play the Pro V1 you and I play. Well, not all of them play the Pro V1. The ones that are right at the top of the game have their own custom fit balls. The most popular of that is called the left dot. The left dot has a very piercing flight and has a much lower spin. Yeah,
and then because they launch the ball so high, but then they're getting a low spin, they're getting maximum distance. So they're getting but I think it's important to realise they're not getting a souped up Pro V that's better than this one. This one is more suited to us and your average golfers versus those guys who hit the ball.
It's average out. It's a bit like the dilution from Formula One down. You're not going to want to do a Formula One car, are you?
No, I'll crash it.
It's very specifically, that's why it's called a CFT ball, it's called a custom fit ball. So that I thought was quite an interesting fact that they do that. Another interesting fact before we actually get into, because this ball is brand new all the way through, new polymer, new outside, new everything on it.
Yet to test it yet myself.
Yet to test it. And I'll be honest with you, I don't play premium golf balls at £3.50 a ball. £3.75 a ball.
£3.75 if you're buying them by a dozen.
Yes. And that's, so we'll get to the price at the end of this, but I don't play them. And the reason I don't play them, Simon, is because my strike as a 19 handicapper is akin to finding Angelina Jolie on Tinder. It's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, that's shame.
So maybe one in 50, there's a chance that you'll be on there, or my strike will be pure. When I do hit it pure, these balls stop dead. At least with the balls that I play, and I play Bridgestone E6, which is a more average golf ball, is that it'll roll out 3 foot. But if I hit it really pure, it only rolls out 2 foot. And that to me, is less than this thing just stops dead.
Do these just stop absolutely dead?
Yes, if I strike it properly, it stops dead.
Okay, well, I mean, so we need to work on your game a little bit, but I can understand that you wouldn't want to spend £4 a go, if you're going to lose an average of a few balls around.
And there's another key that I think we need to note in terms of who this is aimed at. This isn't aimed at a high handicapper or low handicapper. In terms of premium golf balls, if you don't lose a lot of golf balls, and you want the touch in the field.
Exactly, and then that's it. It's a good ball to use. I like these nice shiny balls. They are premium ball, but they're very consistent. They're very well made. You know, I think as you mentioned before, they go for an X-ray machine. Is that right?
Still, so in the 1930s, this was originally a guy at MIT. He felt that one of his balls went off a little on, so he had a friend who was a dentist who X-rayed the ball and saw that the actual center was off center. Ever since then, every single Titleist ball that he's created is X-rayed to make sure.
I'm not using the ball that hasn't been X-rayed.
That's fair enough. But yeah, I do still think though, for £3.75, if you're like me, high handicapper who hits the ball a fair distance. So if I go 1 degree off and I just don't have the hand-eye coordination for that,
then it's going.
It's going.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. So, but I think it's important. Use a good ball like a Bridgestone or a Titleist, whatever it may be. Use the same ball. Use a more suitable price ball.
But got my script in terms of the tech specs, so we'll get to that in a second. But just to quickly, the difference between the ProV1 and the 1X is the X was traditionally the harder ball that spun more. And it had a harder feel to it. The ProV1 had a softer feel to it and it spun less. That has kind of flipped on this.
So now we're going, this ProV spins more.
The data in it is less. The one thing that's clear on the data is that the ProV1X has a slightly higher ball flight.
Okay, yeah, and it does. It sounds a bit clickier.
It sounds a bit clickier. So it's a feel thing. It's a bit of a feel thing. There's all kinds of stuff in here. I mean, please, guys, you know, watch Rick Shields' video on this. Is awesome. You know, the reformulators, 0G, process core, Foster casing, all kinds of exciting things on here. But I don't think that's you know.
It's a nice ball. This one will go a little bit lower. X will go a bit higher. You know, give them a go. They're good.
Absolutely. It's premium. It's the differences between this and the previous ball for the average golfer out there, I don't believe
I'm not too sure we even notice.
You're going to notice.
No.
So it comes down to feel. The fact that they've added the new stripes on there, the fact that they've spent a lot of money in R&D on this would mean that it's incrementally better.
Yes.
Over time. And cost-wise, it's £5 more a dozen.
Yes. So depending on, we're selling the old ones for £39.99, £40. The new one's £45 a dozen.
Okay. And just to be clear, that's no different to American Golf.
I imagine it's the same. You know,
no, I double checked.
Okay,
American Golf is £44.99.
So we're a pound. No, 1p.
You're 1p.
You'd spend 1p with me, wouldn't you?
I would spend 1p with you. So that's it essentially. That's the new ProV. Simon's got a load of them. It's a great ball. Thanks.